Look around, it seems like everyone is pairing off, doesn't it? The engagement photos, the wedding invitations, the couple-centric holidays. And if you're single, the world has a million little ways of asking, so what's wrong? Sometimes that question starts to echo in your own mind. What if I told you that your single status isn't a waiting room? It's not a sign of being broken, too picky or unlovable. The truth nobody tells you is this: you are still single for a reason, and that reason is far more powerful and positive than you've been led to believe. Look around. It seems like everyone is pairing off, doesn't it? Your social media feed is a curated gallery of sparkling engagement rings, perfectly staged wedding photos, and adorable couple-centric holiday cards. Family gatherings become a gentle yet persistent inquisition. Well-meaning friends ask, with that tilt of their head, "So any luck out there?" The world, in a million subtle and not so subtle ways, reinforces a single, deafening narrative that being in a partnership is the default, the finish line, the ultimate sign that you've made it. And if you're not there, you are. By definition, behind this constant background noise can easily morph into an internal monologue of doubt. You start to ask yourself the very questions the world is implying. What is wrong with me? Am I too much, not enough, too picky? Is there some fatal flaw I can't see? What if we radically shifted that perspective? What if we stopped seeing your single status as a waiting room, a passive, empty space you're just enduring until your real life begins? What if instead we viewed it as the most active and transformative construction site of your life? The truth that society doesn't tell you, because it's obsessed with the destination, is that you are still single for a reason. And that reason is not a punishment, it is a profound and purposeful preparation. It is far more powerful and positive than you've been led to believe. This isn't about empty platitudes. This is about recognizing a deeper, more intelligent process at work within you. You are single because you are no longer willing to betray yourself for the temporary comfort of a label. Think about the relationships you've witnessed, perhaps even the ones you've been in. There's a certain kind of partnership that is built not on a roaring fire of mutual passion and respect, but on the quiet, cold embers of desperation, the fear of being alone, the pressure of a biological clock, the sheer exhaustion of searching. These are unions of convenience, of shared mortgages and shared loneliness, where the silence between two people is heavier than any silence experienced alone. You've seen it, you've felt its hollow energy, and somewhere deep in your soul, in a place beyond the reach of societal pressure and lonely nights, you made a silent, solemn promise to yourself that you would not settle for that. You would not trade your peace for a facade. You would not hand over your hard-won independence for the sake of simply having a plus one. This isn't being picky. This is integrity. This is your spirit's refusal to participate in its own diminishment. Your soul is holding out for a connection that feels like home, not just a housing arrangement for your heart. A home is a place of safety, of nourishment, where you can be your most authentic, unvarnished self without fear of eviction. A housing arrangement is a transactional space. It provides shelter from the elements, but it's often cold, impersonal, and devoid of true comfort. You are instinctively waiting for the former, and that is a sign of profound emotional intelligence, not a character flaw. This period of your life, therefore, is not a gap in your resume. It is not a blank page in the story of you. This is the foundational chapter. This is the time you are being forced. Yes, forced, because if it were easy, we might never do it. To build a complete, vibrant, and unshakable relationship with the most important person you will ever know, yourself. Without the noise and compromise of a relationship, you are learning your own rhythms. What time do you really like to go to bed? What books ignite your mind? What hobbies make you lose track of time, not because you're doing them with someone, but because they speak to the very core of who you are. You are discovering what brings you joy without needing someone else to validate it, to pay for it, or to participate in it. This is where you become your own anchor. You are learning to pay your own bills Yes, but you are also learning to soothe your own anxieties. You are fixing your own leaky faucets, but you are also mending your own bruised heart. You are making decisions solo, and in doing so, you are building a core of self-trust that is more valuable than any external advice. You are slowly, piece by piece, becoming your own hero. You are building a life so full, so interesting, and so rich on your own terms that you will never need someone to complete you. You will only want someone to share your completeness with. And that is the only foundation upon which a healthy, equal partnership can ever be built. The world wants you to believe that being alone is a curse, a state of lack. I'm here to tell you that this solitude, when embraced, is your secret superpower. It is in this sacred, quiet space that you forge your character. It's where you learn to sit with your own thoughts without running for a distraction. It's where you learn to comfort your own fears without immediately seeking rescue. It's where you learn to celebrate your own victories with a genuine, unshared pride. This process is developing a standard within you for how you deserve to be treated, not out of a sense of arrogant entitlement, but from a place of self-respect so solid and so deep that you would rather be whole and alone than fractured and attached to the wrong person. So the next time you feel the pressure, the next time you look at another couple and feel a pang of questioning, I want you to remember this: you are not behind. You are being meticulously prepared. The universe, God, fate, whatever you believe in, isn't withholding love from you as a punishment. It is acting as a fierce protector of the magnificent person you are in the process of becoming. It is guarding your heart and your peace so that when the right love finally arrives, it won't be a weak echo of what you thought you deserved. It will be a resonant, powerful, and truly equal partnership. You are still single for a reason. And that reason is because the love story you are truly destined for is so profound, so deeply aligned, and so beautifully chaotic and calm that it requires you to become the absolute best, most whole version of yourself first. We spend so much of our lives looking outward for connection, for validation, for a sense of belonging. We are taught from a young age that our story finds its happy ending when we find our other half. This phrase is so common we rarely stop to consider its terrifying implication that alone we are only half a person, incomplete, a puzzle with a piece missing, perpetually searching for the one who can make us whole. This belief system sets us up for a desperate and dangerous quest. It sends us out into the world, not as whole individuals seeking to share our light, but as seekers with a void, hoping someone will come along to fill it. We become emotional scavengers, looking for someone to give us the love, the confidence, the sense of purpose we have not been able to cultivate within ourselves. But what if the entire premise is wrong? What if the most critical, life-altering relationship you will ever have isn't with a parent, a friend, or a romantic partner? What if it's the relationship you have with the person you wake up with every morning and go to bed with every night? What if your singlehood, this period you've been conditioned to see as empty, is actually the universe's greatest gift to you? The sacred, uninterrupted time to build a complete, vibrant, and unshakable relationship with yourself. This is not a metaphorical feel-good notion. This is the practical, gritty work of becoming your own home. When you are in a series of relationships, or even in one long-term relationship from a young age, your identity can become a shared identity. Your preferences become negotiated preferences. Your time is shared time. There is immense beauty in that sharing, of course. But if you've never built a solid structure of self first, that shared identity can be built on shaky ground. It can become a house of cards, collapsing the moment the other person steps away. This time alone is your opportunity to pour a concrete foundation that is entirely your own. So, what does this work actually look like? It begins with learning your own rhythms, free from the compromise of a partner's schedule or desires. Do you thrive on slow, quiet mornings with a book and a cup of tea? Or do you come alive with the dawn workout? Do you love the energy of a crowded party, or do you find your deepest peace on a long, solitary walk in nature? without someone else's expectations, you can listen to the quiet whispers of your own soul. You discover what brings you joy, not because it's an activity you do as a couple, not because someone else suggests it, but because it genuinely, independently lights a fire in you. Perhaps you rediscover a love for painting that you abandoned in high school. Maybe you find that you actually enjoy your own company in a museum, able to linger on a piece of art for as long as you like without feeling rushed. This is the process of collecting the data of you. Then comes the deeper work, learning to be your own source of comfort and strength. In a relationship, it's easy to outsource your emotional regulation. A bad day at work is soothed by a partner's hug. A moment of self-doubt is quieted by their reassurance. But what happens when that partner isn't there? You are forced to develop your own internal toolkit. You learn to sit with your own anxiety without immediately reaching for your phone to text someone about it. You learn to sit in the discomfort and ask, what is this really about? What do I need right now? And then, crucially, you learn to provide it for yourself. This is how you become your own hero. You learn to talk yourself down from a ledge of panic with your own rational voice. You learn to celebrate your own victories, big and small, by taking yourself out for a nice dinner or simply pausing to feel a genuine, unshared sense of pride. You learn to pay your own bills, fix your own problems, and assemble your own furniture. And with each successful act of self-reliance, your confidence grows. This is the process of building a life so full and so rich on its own terms that you will never need someone to complete you. You will only want someone to share your completeness with. This distinction is everything. Needing someone comes from a place of lack, of emptiness. It carries the weight of desperation and dependency. It says, I am incomplete without you. This is a heavy burden to place on another person and on a relationship. It creates pressure, resentment, and an unhealthy power dynamic. But wanting someone, that comes from a place of abundance, of wholeness. It says, I am a magnificent, complete universe on my own. And the fact that I choose to share my orbit with you is the highest compliment I can pay. This is the foundation of a healthy, equal partnership. You are not two halves clinging to each other, desperate to become one. You are two whole, sovereign beings choosing to walk side by side, enhancing each other's already wonderful journeys. This relationship with yourself is not selfish. It is the most generous thing you can do for yourself and for any future partner. It is the work of building a home within your own soul, so that when love does come knocking, you can open the door and say, welcome. I have built a beautiful life here. I would be delighted for you to come in and share it with me, rather than desperately grabbing their arm and pleading, thank God you're here. Please help me fix the leaks and put out the fires. You are single now so that you can become the architect of your own peace, the curator of your own joy, and the unwavering source of your own strength. This is not a gap in your life. It is the construction of its most critical support beam.